So, we're back, guys. Welcome. This time we're doing exactly the same, but this time we are playing it on Regicide just to, speed the early game up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. I feel like Regicide is good because you always get the tail of the king. You always get the king sniping, and you always get a little bit of action as well. And I feel like, having multiple kings is interesting because obviously, United Kingdom is only a pretty small island, it's a pretty small place. Yet we had the King of Scotland, the King of England, the King of, well, I don't know actually. We were invaded by the Norwegians at some point. We have France invading us all the time. So in a very small area, you had a lot of different political powers going on in medieval times. And apparently, Kong is defeated! What the hell just happened? Oh, wow. He just ran his king into I Victorious's castle. There you go. The 2K player instantly GG'd out since he's just thrown his king away. What do? I think that's the fastest defeat I think I've ever seen. My god. Like, surely, like, you would realize that this is, a pretty small map. And the top player of the game just goes out of the game in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Kong, what was that, dude? I don't know what's going on, but I've got a feeling that anything could happen now, since that just happened. Anyway, I guess I'll introduce the players. Up to the north of the map in Norway, we have Banganel playing as the Britons. I'll see if he's just messaged me. Yeah, he's just messaged me. And he just messaged me saying, "Dadgum. Just 24, that's it." So, Banganel already out of the running. I think you guys might want to cancel your bets there, just so you don't get scammed out. This is why 5 minutes and then the bets are closed. So don't just throw those resources away, or those florins rather. Florins are a resource, right? They're an economic resource. You guys spend so long and spend so much time earning. Anyway, up to the north of the map, we got Banganel in the yellow, and in the north of France, we've got Caelis in the purple. The south of England, in the London region, we've got Franklin. He's playing in the red. In Wales, we've got Rancor in the orange there. In the north of England, south of Scotland, we've got Ivic playing as the Britons in the green. And on... that's it, actually. That's it. That's everyone. I was going to say at the north of Scotland, we've got Kong, but Kong's out of the game. So this time, it's kind of a little bit different. No one is actually starting on Ireland here, which means that this beautiful land of Ireland is up for taking later on. There's a lot of gold here. Certainly could be worth getting that. In the center of the map, of course, there's a lot of gold as well. In the West Midlands, sorry, in the East Midlands, there's a lot of gold up here. This is kind of like, whereas this is like sort of Lincoln area right here. And, I think I was talking about earlier on about Banganel, how, limited places to dock, limited places to be landed. Oh dear, he's lost a villager there, which is kind of a shame. To that wolves, they can be a pain in the butt. But I think, with this small island here, he can do a lot, actually. He's got a lot of gold. He's got a lot of, that's a lot of gold. He's got plenty of wood. He's got plenty of stone as well. And for Banganel, it could be really worthwhile to take the water. And I think water will be important on this map, because those guys at the edge, the guys in Norway, the guys in, the guy in North France, they're going to want to be getting water control so that they can get a landing onto the kind of England area later on in the game. Of course, it's going to be vital to have gold, water later on for the extra gold spots, the gold that's on Ireland, the gold that's here on the, is that the Isle of Wight? Possibly, I'm not sure, I can't remember. This is like the Isle of Man down here. I'm not sure which is which, to be honest with you. My geography's not that good. And of course, there's relics as well that might be up for grabs later on. So, I really like this map. I think it's so awesome. And of course, a bunch of Britons playing in Britain. It's good stuff. Fuel age should be coming in pretty quick for most players, as should the castle age, since of course this is a regicide game. Kong just messaged me saying, "I am a big noob." Thankfully, no one else throwing their king away to the enemy. And I think now I Victorious perhaps on a small advantage, since he could take the north of the map pretty comfortably here by walling off across the kind of the border between England and Scotland. If he walls across here, he could get a very good chunk of the map to himself. That would be really strong. But like I say, this is an island. There's a lot of islands, and taking that water could be very valuable. You could come in here, up the river. I don't know what river that is. Could be the Y. Not sure. That's the Thames here, obviously. You can do a lot of damage from the water. You can cover these choke points here as well. Obviously, fast castling should be on the agenda for these guys. And I wonder who's going to do the fast castle fastest. Should be Ivic, if I'm not mistaken. But Franklin not far behind. Banganel pretty close as well. Kong nowhere near. Kalis not far off. And I think actually, Rancor might be able to do it fastest here in this situation. But him and Franklin having a little bit of a, well, not a fight, not really a fight going on here. Franklin coming forwards with a villager though, and kind of walling off the front of Rancor's base. I think that's a pretty good move for him. Kind of a little bit lame, admittedly, but I think it's a good move. So Rancor gonna put a tower up on this watchtower. I'm gonna throw that up to keep that gold nice and safe, and that's what he needs at the moment. Gold. He doesn't have the gold to go up to the castle age. He doesn't have his second feudal age building either, which means he's gonna need a market or something like that. At the moment, taking some more stone. Of course, all these guys playing as the Britons. It's gonna be interesting to see how longbows come into play when the map is basically the size of a longbow's attack radius. This map's pretty damn small, in fact. On the water at the south, Franklin bringing out a galley, which is a good move since the purple fishing ships are right here, but they are very close to that castle, which means that Kalis could easily stop these galleys from doing a lot of damage. And look at that fishing ship there. If it's, yep, there you go, it's down very, very quickly. That castle's in a good location actually to secure the water a little bit. Ivic then up to the castle age now. Banganel's just clicked up. Franklin very close, not quite. Kalis very close as well, and Rancor clicking up. Kalis here, way too much gold income. I don't know what he's doing, but he's got tons of gold. I'm not sure why he's got that much, but getting a good castle time is going to be very, very vital here, because they're going to want to bring out those war galleys and maybe even fire ships once they hit the castle age. Bear in mind, we're playing on the Age of Empires, the Forgotten here, and fire ships are buffed, making them a viable option, in fact, if you do a fast castle, which is pretty much expected when you're playing a map like Regicide. The game mode Regicide. So fast castle into fires could be a really strong strategy for Kalis as well, especially since Franklin only has a couple of galleys out. Again, for Franklin, could be worthwhile to do that, but he's not clicked up to the next age just yet, which is a little bit awkward. He needs to get himself up to the castle age. He's got himself a blacksmith, just no market yet, and he's going to need that very soon. He can afford it. He just needs to throw it up, and he'll be fine. But that's a very delayed castle age. Victorious, just about to hit castle now, and he was indeed the first player to get up. And of course, this being a free-for-all, you got to be very careful. You don't want to let your sort of score get too high in a free-for-all, because it might kind of make people think, hang on a minute, he's getting a little far ahead. Let's reel him in a bit. Let's take him out. Let's focus on the guy in the lead. And Victorious here with the second TC coming up. Going to be in the lead, that is for sure. Taking a little bit of stone as well. Always wise to do that, since of course you don't start with 200 stone on Regicide. You only start with 150. Though actually I think they started with less. I think they started with 100 in fact. Because Ivic here actually has less than 50 stone, even after building that first TC. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Oh wait, never mind. It's because he built 2. So in fact, he's actually maybe even going for a third TC pretty soon. Look at that. In fact, 1 TC there, 2 TCs here, and he can almost afford a third extra TC, bringing up to a total of 4, which could be pretty huge. Bear in mind, the Britons TCs are cheaper as well, so that's always a bonus. Also, Banganel here, don't know what he's doing with fishing ships. He needs to task them to actually take the fish, but he is making some war galleys, and I think that's a good idea. Going out pure water here, taking water control, could be very good. Could give him a nice fish boom. At the south of the map, Kalis and Franklin having a little fight as well. Kalis getting the lead though, since he has got himself fletching done. And now that we see him, wow, actually not up to the cast. Wow, dudes, I'm surprised. Franklin's on the way up. He's got a lot of food, a lot of gold. I'm just amazed that Kalis hasn't managed to click up yet. I don't quite know how he's not managed to click up. And like I said earlier, I think his economy is very imbalanced. He's got, like, you know, 800 more, 900 more gold than he needs to get up to the castle age. And that's kind of cost him a little bit. Ivic getting focused down on the water, and Banganel here, even though he's only on a single TC, the second TC only just going up, he is taking that score lead as he rules the waves. Rule Britannia. Rule Britannia. Ivic then with his 3 TCs, looking for a 4th pretty soon it would seem, and also now with a longbow for good measure. Something here just died. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was a archer from Rancor. Rancor here doing some archers in fact, and also doing a knight as well. And you know, knights for the Britons generally not a good idea. Archers though certainly can be very good. And it looks like he's coming in towards Franklin now to try and pressure him a little bit. Franklin, once he hits the castle age though, can very comfortably throw out a couple of longbows and just kind of deal with this pretty quickly, I feel. Franklin, yeah, 3 longbow coming out. Sure, these longbows are really difficult to mass. In fact, you know, longbows are so hard to mass, I feel. They're a real pain in the butt to mass up. But once you get a couple out, he'll be fine. He's only dealing with archers, and these guys have more health, they have more attack, they have more range as well, which is always nice. Against crossbow, though, they're not amazing. And I feel like the British longbow... The real strength of the British longbow is in the Imperial age, when they're fully upgraded, you know, when they've got the Yeoman upgrade, when they're elite and they've got 12 range, that's when they are super powered, that's when they're supercharged. So where's that 4th TC from Mr. Ivic? At the moment it doesn't exist, and Banganel here, like I said earlier on, taking advantage of that water. And already tearing into this TC from Ivic. And Ivic, you know, I don't think he's going to lose this TC. But he could certainly be in trouble if he doesn't try and protect it a little more. Ivic here trying to defend, and Banganel for some reason going back. I think he could have got away with doing a little more damage to that TC. But for now, certainly seems like he is ruling the water for the time being. Franklin now up to the castle, Kalis as well up to castle, and we should start in theory to see some action on the water down here. War galley just coming in. It looks like Kalis has got the upper hand there. Franklin, obviously I feel a little sorry for Franklin here. He's a little bit pressured. He's got both the orange player coming in, trying to attack him on the land, and he's also got Kalis on the water, being a little nuisance. And Kalis could get a lot more aggressive than this. Really could. And he's also going to have to deal with Rancor now. He's bringing out some longbows of his own. Nice to see longbows out. And, you know, we're going to see longbows in full force this game as well. But Franklin's in trouble. Villagers getting taken out here. The castle can only protect him so much. As soon as those villagers get a little further out, they're going to be finding it hard to stay safe. But Franklin should win this fight over on the land. He's got the superior number of crossbows. Half of them aren't attacking the right thing. And Rancor will probably lose that fight pretty quickly there. But, hey, crossbows are out. Crossbows are pretty damn good, in fact, against longbow. They're not too bad at all. Obviously, with that extra range and such, they're pretty strong. But Franklin holding his ground, doing well with those longbows so far. Now Ivic. 3 TCs. He's got his 2nd castle out. Doesn't look like he will be going for that 4th TC after all. But he's still taking a bit of stone. He's starting to make some longbows of his own. And just booming up as well in the meanwhile. But yes, it surprises me that these guys are not putting more emphasis on the water here. At the moment, Rancor is sitting on 3 TCs. Franklin's just on the 1, which kind of says to me, you know, he could do a lot more military than this. And if you have a look at his economy, he's got way too much food here. He's just sitting on 1,000 food. It's so much of it. Building his 2nd TC now, which is quite late, really. Meanwhile, Banganel in the north, sitting on 3 TCs as well. In fact, he's doing really well. He's got the score lead. He's got 92 pop versus Ivic's 66. And he's got the north of the map covered in farms, which is a little bit too much, but he's going to have a good Imperial time. He's got great water control. He's got good fish. He's got quite a few boats out. He's not contested on the water at all. And I think that's the right way to play this game. Norwegian power here up in the north. I mean, Britain power up in the north here. But I think, you know, this is looking good for Bangladesh. He's walling up along the shoreline to stop any landings coming in. That's a nice thing. Obviously, he's not really got to worry too much about that anyway. And really, I mean, how has he got this much wood as well? I mean, he could be making a lot more boats than he is. He's still queuing boats out. But he could be imp any moment now. I only hope he's got wheelbarrow. Let's have a quick check. He better have wheelbarrow. Nope, he's not. And that's a mistake. If he does wheelbarrow right now, he could be imp in 28 minutes. I think comfortably. He just has to send a few more villagers from wood onto gold here. He really has too much wood income. He could use the market and sell some wood before the value decreases later on. But like I say, wheelbarrow now. Imperial at 28 minutes. There's wheelbarrow actually. He's doing it. I think he was researching it before I said that. So good for him. And he's going to just be all over this on the water, it seems. Kalis seems really reluctant to attack. I know that this is something I'm pretty bad with as well. I build an army and I don't use it. Something you really got to do. You got to get that army and you got to go. And Franklin here really offers no resistance on the water. 3 galleys is not a big deal. Franklin can easily, Kalis can easily deal with that and take down those fishing ships as well. And that would stop Franklin getting an advantage. But then, let's be honest here, Franklin, a bottom score at the moment. I don't think Kalis is going to be too worried about what he's up to over the Channel Sea. But now, for now, he's building up, and his economy is really imbalanced. He's got way too much gold. And, you know, he's only got like 5 villagers taking gold. But it's just because he's not been spending it that it's just building and building and building. And he needs to replenish that lumber camp as well, because those villagers are having to walk a long way. A very long way. University coming up for Kalis now. And we'll probably see, I don't know, a monastery as well. Wait, no, he doesn't need a monastery. Why is he doing university? Maybe he's looking for ballistics. It's definitely going to be a valuable upgrade. It's going to be a very valuable upgrade for these fellas. But he doesn't need a university to go up to the Imperial Age. What he does need, however, is to re-evaluate his economy here. You know, he's only got 2 TCs. Where's that third? I don't see it. And he could make it over here. To be honest with you, this is a really crappy location for him. I don't like this north of France location. But, you know, another TC wouldn't hurt him. He certainly could make good of that. So there you go. Franklin finally coming into Kalis here. Kalis has a few too many boats to kind of go unnoticed. And Franklin will lose the water. I feel a bit sorry for Franklin here because, you know, he's kind of 2v1 at the moment. I think Ivik is going to be causing a few more problems for Rancor later on, though. And Franklin might get a little bit of time to breathe in this game. Ivik should be going imp now. He is, and he's on 82 population. Banganel should be going imp. He already is up, in fact, and he's on 118 population. I think Yellow is doing fantastic, and he's got so many resources as well. Once he hits Imperial, it'll be interesting to see what he goes and does. He could try and land it. He could try and just win it through water control. But ultimately, I think conquest is the best way. You can have all the water control in the world, but if your home island runs out of resources, that's no good. You've got to go to your enemy, I feel. This is a free-for-all, remember, and that means that if you just turtle up in the corner of the map, that's not really the way to win, because one player will get the advantage on the land, they'll get all the extra resources, and that could be pretty nasty. In fact, Banganel here, I think, doing a good thing by coming in and kind of harassing this TC from Kong, which is obviously now, well, pointless, but, well, Kong useless, rather. And Banganel could come and land up here, perhaps, I don't know. In fact, wow, there you go. Banganel could go and land up there. There's the villagers in the transport ship already on the way. So I think Banganel playing a good game here. Ivik, though, imp now. Well, sorry, Ivik will be imp for a second. Banganel already is imp. And we could see, you know, elite, what's it called? The dudes, the longbows, elite longbows. That's what I'm looking for. We could see that. We are seeing Galleon, though, which is obviously going to be a very important upgrade this game. And there's those villagers dropped off. Banganel does not know where that castle is from Kong, so you're going to have to be careful not to run into that. That could be pretty nasty if he runs into it. Ivik now imp as well, though. And Ivik doing conscription. He should very soon be doing the elite longbow. There it is. And we got longbows coming out. Now these guys are very difficult to mass. Like, longbows are so hard to mass. But when you've got a mass of them, they really become very unstoppable, especially when they've got 5+5 range. Make that 6+6 when they're fully upgraded, and you're being sniped from all over the place. You just don't know where it's coming from. It's just raining arrows. Rancor getting the hard end of this at the moment as those villagers get picked off from way over the walls there. That castle is not going to be completing anytime soon. And Ivik, if he goes for Yeoman in just a moment as well, now the elite longbow is upgraded, he's going to have, there's Yeoman, he's going to have a lot of powerful units out on this map in the center, taking a lot of control there. But I think Banganel might be more of a problem than he's thinking at the moment. Banganel here, raiding from the shoreline, could be a real nuisance for him. But I don't think it's game ending. I definitely don't think it's game ending. So there's 6+6 range. That's 12 in total. And iVictorious now going to be absolutely dominating this on the land. He needs to... Dude, he should have gone forward there. He could have got into the gate and stopped the castle going up. But at the moment, he can easily bring out a couple of trebs as well. And I'm surprised he's not done a treb immediately. Like, if you get to the Imperial age, do a treb. Because you can start taking control of the map with that. Now, in AOF, Brit's got an interesting technology. It's called Warwolf, I believe. There it is, and it's the Imperial technology. Yeoman's now been moved to the Castle Age, interestingly enough, and it improves your trebuchets by giving them blast damage, which makes them kind of very good. A lot of trebuchets with Warwolf researched, yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of damage. You can attack, you know, land units with that and take advantage of the range. Do a huge amount of damage to units on the land. You don't even have to use your trebs to attack buildings anymore. They just become a multi-purpose siege unit, and that's strong. Ivik adding in one treb. He's finally queuing up some more. He obviously now knows that he's got to take down that castle. And that castle from Rancor is not in a great location. Ivik can come to the top of this hill and take it down very quickly, I believe. I think Banganel here, though, in the north of the map, looking pretty good. But look at those galleons there. Outranged 7, 8, 9, 10 range versus the 12. And these elite longbows actually picking off the galleons from miles away. It's unreal. Ivik could come up here and take down a castle as well. At the moment, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of just suiciding his villagers on the castle. What's he doing? Where's he going? I don't know. But that castle from Banganel standing strong in the north, and Ivik probably feel a little embarrassed there after losing so many units to that pretty unnecessarily. Those longbows getting attacked now, going to move back, but you know, Ivik's kind of spread thin a little bit. He's attacking on the front, he's dealing with this stuff at the back, but I don't think Banganel's too much of a problem for him at the moment, since he's, you know, kind of not too firmly holding this land in the north. He's not all over it. Meanwhile, Rancor is being raided by Franklin at the back of the map. This is what happens when you make an enemy in the early game. They come back to haunt you later on. And those knights, not a fantastic decision, since knights are really not the forte of the Brits, but they're killing a few villagers, and Rancor now being attacked on two sides, making it pretty difficult to deal with. Rancor, though, will take down this castle here, and Franklin's longbows seem to have disappeared as well, which makes me think they probably died. Franklin here, kind of getting squeezed out a little bit. I think his king's in the TC here. But without this castle to defend him, with this choke point, well, not choke point, this crossing point being wide open, I kind of don't see much future in Franklin's time at the south of the map here. Longbows there, though, coming out, and you know, they're a little bit out of position. They could have been doing a lot more to perhaps save this castle even. He's going to run his knights at this treb. It's not going to work. The knights will get cut down very quickly. They don't have bloodlines. They don't have any... oh, sorry, they do have +2 defense. But it's not really enough. But Franklin should be able to defend for a while. But without a castle, he's not really got much military production left. He's only got knights. That's not the best thing to have. He could add some more stables, though. He could do something. He could try and take some more stone and get another castle. But, you know, this is being raided from the water here. He's not actually got a good stone pile. That's really unfortunate, actually. And I don't know if you realized that early enough, but at the moment, he's not actually got a stone pile accessible. So there's no chance for him to get up another castle now, and I think it's going to be a long, slippery slope for him at this rate. Ivik taking his time. He could have broke down this gate with his treb and gone through, but he didn't. He's kind of dealing with Banganel up in the north, and he's dealing with that just great, in fact. In fact, wow. He's pushed him right the way off. No more Banganel in the north of the map. Well played by Ivik there. And whilst Banganel does have a lot of galleons out, he's not kept his foothold there in the north. He has, however, got himself a cannon galleon here. He also has got another foothold here. But it's yet to really blossom, I feel. Cannon galleons could be great, though, in this situation. Obviously, they do outrange castles. They can do a lot of damage from the water. And nobody this game has really good water control. Kalis is trying to get some water control, but he's not firmly in control here. Banganel could clean that army up very, very easily. Rancor, meanwhile, holding on. He's obviously Imperial now. And as he gets squeezed out and pushed by Ivik in the north, he kind of takes out Franklin in the south at the same time, trying to free up some space for him down here, perhaps. Kalis, meanwhile, still not really showing any sign of reaching the Imperial Age anytime soon. He's on his way up. He's got a lot of resources in the bank still. He's in Yeoman now, and you see those castles all along the shore there. No one's gone for islands just yet. I'm surprised about that. Nobody has gone for it. In fact, Kalis hasn't really explored it either, and that's kind of something that could be really valuable to do. Take island, get yourself set up over there. There's a lot of wood. Sorry, yeah, well, there is a lot of wood. There's a lot of gold, also plenty of stone as well, so it's certainly worthwhile doing that, making the effort to get over there, because it'll help you out massively. I mean, this is a starting location for one player. Obviously, that is that's absolutely fine. It's good. It's a good place to go. Kalis with a lot of crossbows, though. Maybe we'll see Arbalest out of him, and he might send a landing force across. But I think, really, at the moment, I mean, he's got loads of gold back here. He's not short on resources at all. I think he's just not spending them. He's not really distributing his economy very well. And I think he's a bit short on villages as well. But up in the north, this is going to get interesting now, since cannon galleons from Banganel are coming through. 11 range versus 13. For some reason, though, oh, it's not a castle that's firing. It's the longbows on the front. And they're not going to do much damage. 7 pierce armor on the cannon galleons. They're going to do 4 damage per arrow. It's not enough to take them down. And down goes the castle from Ivik. Banganel hitting him right back, but Ivik's found out where he's hanging around. He sees him up in the north there. Banganel, is he actually doing cavalier here? That could be interesting. Though I don't see... Oh, he's doing light cavalry. Okay, so he's going to do light cavalry to try and raid. At the moment, I feel like it's really between Banganel and Ivik. Though, saying that, Dark Horse could be Rancor here. He's just biding his time. Ivik's not really pushed forward very quickly. Sure, he's taken down a castle and a TC. He will take down another castle as well, but at the same time, Rancor fighting against Franklin down here, and so far doing so good, though Franklin got a good number of knights out now. Still, I don't think he's going to be reaching Imperial anytime today. Franklin just doesn't have the gold left, doesn't have the resources, and this is where Franklin could do an expedition to Island here. If he just throws up a dock, makes a transport, and lands over here, look at the potential. The lush lands of Ireland. He could do so much over there. And there's nothing to stop him, because there's no one on the water on the left side of the map. Banganel's too busy dealing with Ivik. And Kalis is just too busy defending the Channel Sea for some reason, the Channel Crossing. They're actually saying that Franklin has got a transport, but he's going from a really weird... Why would he go from here? It seems so odd that he would go this way. And as a result, he's probably going to actually run into that navy. Now, he has got this entire southwest area of the map, all the way down to Nuki down here, all the way to John O'Groats. I mean, Land's End. John O'Groats is this bit. All the way down to Land's End. He could build a dock right over this area and be fine. I keep thinking that Rancor's landed this island because it looks really orange, but it's not actually him. That transport, not going to succeed. It's been taken out already. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's loading it up with more villas. Dude, not good. He's going to get splattered or just absolutely destroyed by those few galleons there. So I don't know if Kalis is really just like playing the long game here. He could be. Obviously, not really too much technological advancement going on for him. Not at the moment, anyway. But yes, you're right, Demokritos. There is a lot of politics involved in free-for-all. A lot of past disputes get dragged into free-for-all games. But I think that adds flavor to it. I think that adds a lot to it. I like to see a free-for-all where no one really has any sort of ties before game. I don't think there are in this game any sort of what's the word? Sort of disputes before the game goes on. Any feuds? Any long-term feuds? I don't think there's any of that. So I mean, this is about as kind of fair or yeah, fair as a free-for-all can really get. I mean, free-for-all is never truly fair. So we've got Rancor pushing out, and he's actually pushed Ivic back. So that's what I'm talking about with the Dark Horse here. Ivic's trying to group up all of his longbows. And he's got 126 pop at the moment. But it seems like he's having a really hard time pushing Banganel off his island. Banganel back at home. He's pretty much out of resources, though. So he's going to have to come up with something soon. But he has got a lot of cannon galleons, lots of galleons as well. Now we're seeing light cavalry with +4 defense coming in as well. They're going to get absolutely destroyed. I mean, look at that. From behind an entire forest. Those longbows just wrecking them. But at the same time, we've got Rancor in the south actually posing a bit of a threat down here. The Trep now deploying. He's got a castle on the hill. He can move out and take these gold piles. Franklin, he's holding on. He's got knights, but look at this. Rancor. What a legend. He's going for it. He's going for the king. It's not going to work, however. That TC will stay standing, but it's very, very close. And Rancor trying to close the gap there with his longbows to bring that TC down. Though it's not going to work because Franklin's got the surround. Those knights will survive for now. Franklin, of course, still in the castle age, remember. Though he could sell some of his wood and make it up to Imp. He's actually got a dock on this left side now. Maybe he heard my advice and somehow he snuck by these guys. I don't think he did sneak by these galleons, actually. I don't know what happened there. But either way, he's moving over to Ireland where he might find himself a new TC, a new home, and some lovely gold to finally reach the Imperial age. He's got to hold off Rancor for now, though. And that king is already low on health. So maybe those petards did a little bit of splash damage and the king got caught in a little blast there. Unfortunately, the TC not going down, and no king sniping just yet. Up in the north, Banganel's still going strong, but Ivic bringing down that castle, and I think Ivic's lost a lot in this fight. I don't think Banganel has lost too much. He's just not been able to hold on to his kind of foothold here. He's kind of slipping out every time every time he tries to push. Sounds a bit weird. But yes, Franklin here, setting up on the left-hand side. Taking Ireland at long last. Finally getting out there. And we'll see a TC coming up, I'm sure. Maybe two TCs, maybe even 3. Franklin could do with a big boom up here. And maybe get his king out there as well. In fact, I think that would be the safest option for him. Forget the TC, dude. Get the king out and get it to Ireland. It's the best thing he can do in this situation. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to escape this. The longbows are in range of that town center, and I'm pretty sure Rancor has got ballistics here. So, I mean, there goes the king. If he's paying attention, he can get it. And Franklin now, oh dear, he's running away. The longbows are locked on. Oh, he's making an escape. He's making his escape down to the south. And that king sure can run. Franklin's got to run faster, though. Watchtower coming up. Wow, Watchtower here. He's pulling out all the stops. And there's that transport ship. So he will try and make it out to Ireland and buy himself some time. But the question is, will the transport ship make it out? Will Rancor find the king first? Will Kalis put an end to this? Well, if he gets too close to the shore, it could happen. Kalis, by the way, just doing not a lot at the moment. Just kind of building up still. But honestly, this is pretty tough for Franklin here. He's running away. And there's the king, there's the transport. He's going to make it. He is going to make it. What a legend. Keeping the dream alive. He's keeping the dream alive. Out goes the transport here. He's going to drop his king off back onto Ireland. And it's going to be all good in the hood. He's even, well, no, he's not going to take it out. I was going to say he might even take out that Mangonel as well. But Rancor here, like I said earlier on, the real dark horse of this game. This is a pretty nice army up here in the sort of Midlands area, and Ivic is gonna be really pressured. I mean, he's got Bankanel coming up in the north. Those light cabs going to come in and start raiding. He's got the cannon galleons from the shore absolutely destroying him just opposite the River Humber here. Probably not actually the River Humber. I think the River Humber's like here, but it's not on the map. I don't know what this river is called. I don't know my rivers too well. But either way, like I say, he's getting squeezed out. And even though he's moved up into the north of the map, he's got a little bit of navy going up here. I think his resources must be struggling in some aspects. Yeah, he's pretty low on res at the moment. And now he's going to have to deal with this insane army from Rancor. We've got skirms out front. Knight's going to be absolutely useless. But I tell you what, these guys are going to work as a little bit of a meat shield. The elite longbows in the back. And they're going to bring down the longbows of Ivik very quickly. Ivik with very little left. And there's his king in the castle. Those Trebs going to move forward. And for the second time this game, Rancor going to go for a king snipe. Never mind, the king's made his escape. I mean, they're slow slippery. These kings are like slippery fish. Somehow his king just got out of there, and I have no idea where. There we go. He's sending him out in a transport ship to the far corners of the world. Far corners. Franklin here trying to rebuild then on Ireland. His own base has not really got a lot left. I mean, actually saying that somehow Rancor's spared him a little bit. These guys chopping the same wood line, in fact, letting him free farm back here as well, which is nice of him. And Kalis, I think Kalis has got something up his sleeve here. Like, you know, he's kind of just taking it easy. He's taking the stone over this side. He's, you know, fully upgraded his galleons. He's making some more. He's taking his sweet time. He's got 4,000 gold. No shortage of resources over on this side. And Ivik now, well, representing the mods in the chat, I suppose. That's probably why JazzP is feeling so emotional about this at the moment. But he has made his escape. He's gone and built a castle here in one of the Scottish Isles. I'm not sure what isle this is. Not sure at all. But he is going to go and drop that castle on the island there and keep his king nice and safe for now. But for how long? I mean, Banganel, bear in mind, he still has those cannon galleons, and they could do a lot of work if they find where that king is. And with spies, you can find exactly that. Just research spies in the castle, and suddenly you've got yourself a fantastic bit of knowledge. So Rancor then pushing forwards. He's doing great. He's doing really great. And over here in the south, of course, he's still hammering away at Franklin. Oh dear, Franklin. Yeah. There's me going, he's letting Franklin enjoy his TC next to him. But no, Banganel comes in and says goodbye to all of those TCs. Still, Banganel has that score lead. But does he have the potential to win this game? I think with the Navy, he could do it. He could do it. Dan Checo, it's really not about who's the best at the game. It's about just having fun and enjoying it for what it is. I mean, we have so much fun just playing Regicide, lower level games, and just enjoying AoE for what it is. Sometimes it's not about who's the best player, and oh my god, everyone's so noob. Just let people enjoy the game, man. That's what it's about. So, anyway, Ivik up in the north, having his villagers massacred by this castle up here. And, it's also about the stories you get from it, right? I've got so many good stories from these games. That game I uploaded from yesterday, that comeback, that was fantastic. And it was really enjoyable to watch. I loved that game. And, the Legend of Clayman, as an example. That I have no words for this game. 120,000 views on YouTube of 8 noobs just playing and having fun. And it was a fantastic game. And it has more views than most expert games I'll ever upload. Because it's just pure entertainment. That's what it is. So anyway, I love to see Franklin here on the left side in Ireland, building up and doing fantastically well for someone who's been pressured the entire game. Kalis coming out of his shell a little bit. Galleons all over the place. But not really getting too aggressive. And I feel like this is actually a clever move from Kalis here. I feel like this is a legitimately clever move. Honestly, I feel like Kalis just biding his time, taking it easy, letting his resources pile up, letting the other guys fight. And then loading up his rams. And I think what he's going to try and do is load these rams with arbalest and then drop them into the transports here. This could be awesome. This could be so good. This could be so fun. So there you go. Transport ships loaded up with arbalest. He's loading them into the transports. Look at that. Transport ship 9, 15, 20. You can, the arbalest do count, by the way. You can't just put like all of these in. But he's going to drop the cap rams over full of arbalest. And then he's going to just try and steamroll his way up the map. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Kalis is like my new favorite player here. I'm loving this. I'm loving this so much. Look at that. Loaded up. Taking his sweet time. And yeah, the rams, they hold the arbs. The five units in each ram. So that means that each ram will put 6 population into the transport. So we can do a total of... well, I don't actually know. He should only be able to put 3 rams in each transport ship. He's sending them over now. Obviously, he's got water control here. Though he did surprisingly lose those villagers there. I think that might have been to Rancor's longbows. But those galleons from Rancor are going to get squeezed off there. Meanwhile, in the north, Banganel's still cleaning up, still pushing Ivic right the way off of the northern area of England. And Kalis, I'm waiting to see this. This is going to be great. The Rams here just getting dropped across. This is like D-Day. Like D-Day. He's just, you know, just biding his time, sending them all together. Fully Imperial, and going to be doing that. Could you imagine, though, if, like, you could fill the Rams and they'd only take 1 spot in the transport ship? That'd be pretty funny. So off he goes. Off he goes. And how many Rams has he got here? He's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Rams. It's like, yeah, 9 Rams. It's like inverse D-Day, yeah, reverse D-Day. As Kalis comes through. Oh, he dropped out the... Okay, he dropped out the arbalest. Well, there was really no point. There's really no point. You may as well have just put the arbalest in separately. But either way, this is a pretty hefty army here. Fully upgraded. Everything's fully upgraded. He's got his rams, he's got his galleons, and he's leading the charge forwards. Love it. Love it, love it. Franklin, I like that he's rebuilding here. What's he looking like? He's doing okay. He's actually... Oh, Franklin's actually on the way to the Imperial Age now. That's great. He's going to make it. Up in the north, I still think Banganel's the strongest, but Rancor's closing that gap. Closing that gap. As Kalis comes in and finds that Franklin's base is actually no more. I mean, the thing is, he had no intelligence over here. He had no vision of the map. So he's landed himself across. And he's like, oh, I heard Franklin was in this area. Actually, no. Franklin's all the way over here in Ireland now. And, Rancor coming on the water as well here. And I think Rancor, my new favorite to win this game, I think he could do it. I think he could do it. You know, he's not the best player, but I think he's got the potential here. He's bringing in his longbows. Though, saying he doesn't have yeoman. Dude, you need to get that yeoman upgrade. These guys are actually even on range here. The longbow will outrange the arbalest if yeoman is done. But he's not done it, and that's kind of a shame. So, obviously, arbalest from Kalis going to be able to evenly match these longbows for range. They are a little bit worse off in terms of pierce armor and in terms of actual attack. But if Kalis patrols forwards with his rams, he's going to be able to soak up a lot of arrow fire there. This is actually how you deal with longbows. You send rams in front and then skirmishes behind. But, wow, galleons coming in as well, just for good measure. They're going to be getting destroyed very quickly. And, and down on the south, Rancor is in the water. MBL just netted $3. He said, get some skins in CSGO, noob. Well, dude, I actually opened 18 cases the other day, and I got nothing. I got nothing. I feel so let down by that. I spent £32 on keys, and I got nothing. Hannah's given me stink eye. Obviously, you know, I sold my TF2 hat on the Steam market, and I bought keys with the money. It wasn't a wise investment, but I did it for the stream. I sacrificed that money for the stream. But thank you, MBL, and I'm sure we'll play some CSGO again next week, or tomorrow, in fact, even, if you're up for it. If you're up for it. if you don't mind being embarrassed by my insane KD. But Kayla's said doing great. He's actually, well, he's doing okay, actually. He's denied that castle. He's still got a superior army. I mean, these rams are going to do work, but I don't know why he's focusing on taking out Franklin down here. I mean, I don't know why he's focusing on that. He's got much better things to focus on, much bigger fish to fry. He's got Rancor up in the north to deal with here. I love that Banganel, though, is just kind of like, he's just absorbed I Victorious's base and economy. He's just absorbed it. And now he's got his own elite longbow army. It's great. It's great. I mean, this is such a fun setting. Ivic has got nothing. He's got nothing. He's down to 47 population. All he has is his king in a castle on an island. And Banganel's on his way over with the cannon galleons, it seems. What he needs to do is research spies. He's got to. Because as soon as he knows where that king is, it's his. He could take it all day. All day, all night. He could take that king. Kalis still just... I feel like Kalis' problem this game has been really passive. He's not really got aggressive. And when he has got aggressive, it's been pretty good, actually. I mean, he's certainly given Rancor a little knock to the confidence. But his ships could have certainly been used to a greater effect. I mean, look at this. Rancor here, killing how many villagers? And Kalis is sat there with his navy, just kind of like killing Franklin's old house. I mean, is that really what he wants to be spending his army doing? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yes, wow, Rancor now on the water as well. It's the switch here into water is becoming more important, I think, as the game goes on. I think Ivic is going to be a little bit scared that these players are now adding in more and more ships on the water, because he is basically a sitting duck, I feel there. His king, well, he's moving his king. I guess what happened is Banganel did spies. Rancor knew that he was going to be spotted out, and as a result, he's going to move away. Where will he move to, though? That's the thing. He's really got nowhere to move to. He can come down to Ireland. He can come down to Ireland any day. But he's going to realize that, hey, Franklin's over here. I'm not going to want to spend too much time in Ireland. I want to know what Franklin's up to. Wow, there's a navy. Franklin's building on the water as well. And this is like everyone now. Everyone starting to pump out those galleons. There we go. We got a big fight in the south, and Kalis is going to get absolutely destroyed there. He has not got enough galleons in the mix. They are even on the upgrades, but Rancor's got that fight. And now Rancor has that score lead, and there you go. I mean, what was I saying? Even when he was down in third, I was like, Rancor's the dark horse. He is the player of the night, and he is coming. He's coming. So Rancor doing great. He's taking the water down in the south now. He'll push Kalis back, but Kalis setting up a little landing here. Castle going up. What's his resources looking like? He should have plenty. Hell yeah, look at that. 15k wood, 3,500 gold, 8,700 food, 3,000 stone. I mean, there is no shortage of resources for Kalis here. He may as well delete all of his villages and just go ham. I don't think he'll do that. It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. But honestly, Arbalest here coming out, and I don't think, even with Kalis, all these resources, I don't think he's going to have what it takes here to stop Rancor here. I don't think he's going to have what it takes at all. I want to know where Ivic's moved his king to. Oh my god, wow, it's in this transport ship. He's island hopping. He's moved it from one precarious location to another. Either way, it's not good. Franklin is here with a huge navy. He could come in, destroy this in an instant. It's certainly not safe sitting on an island there with just a TC. There's no protection really, and over comes the transport. If he keeps going this direction, oh my god, Franklin, I hope you're patrolling that army, because in it comes. There's that transport ship, there's that king, and it's heading straight for Franklin's navy. Franklin, if you're paying attention, he's yours. He's yours. There it is. He's engulfed in ships. Oh my god, down he goes. And Ivic out of the game, like, in the most spectacular fashion. GG, I Victorious. You've let us down. The mods are displeased. I think that's it. You've lost your modship now. I'm sorry to say. Franklin, the bottom scorer. He's been bottom scorer in this entire game. He's been 2v1 for a long time. Coming back, just building up in Ireland. And then absolutely destroying Ivik. Ivik there, just nothing left. And, you know, Franklin now, even if he doesn't do any more this game, he's done enough. He has done enough. Rancor then, it's going to come down to Rancor and Banganel, I feel. Kalis, though, still has a sizable army in the south. And Rancor, I think, in an awkward situation, actually, because he's kind of split between the north and the south here. You know, he's got a very, very large navy. Not a lot going on the land for him. And if Rancor gets attacked from Banganel in the north, and at the same time, Kalis pushes in on the south, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know. Throat Wobbler Mangrove donated $2.16 every time I see your name. It just gives me a little chuckle. Have to even out the sum due to my OCD. Thank you very much, man. So I guess $30 in total. Thank you, dude. That's really generous. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for supporting the stream here and supporting what I do. I really appreciate it, dude. So Banganel coming forwards with those light calves, kind of just getting whittled away by the elite longbowmen. I want to look at Rancor's gold situation here. Yeah, down to 24 gold. He is running low, and he's in no position now to keep making those longbows. And that's to me is a worry, because Kalis down in the south, mass arbalest, Treb's now coming out. Up in the north, Banganel, mass longbows. And unless Rancor has gold, he's going to struggle. Well, there you go. He's used his market. And now he has some gold. But, you know, he's only going to be able to use his market for so long before all of his resources just run out entirely. Hopefully Ivik's not too salty after that loss. Ivik, what's the salt levels like? On 1 to 0 empires, how salty are you? Franklin here. Just holding his ground, holding the island that has given him new lease of life. What's his pop at now? 136. He's clawing his way back in. Rancor sitting at 158. Kalis at 154. And Banganel pop blocked at 200. I think, even though the scores may suggest otherwise at the moment, I think Banganel must be our favorite to win this game from this position, because Kalis bringing down these castles in the south, Rancor forcing his army down here, and Banganel taking his sweet time up in the north, it seems. Now, Rancor's king is in this castle. Now, if I was Banganel, I'd have that Treb on that castle immediately, because he could come around this left side. He could come over to this left side. He could take that castle down with nothing to stop him. Easy, easy, easy stuff. But he's still making galleons, and I feel like that is a little bit of a waste. And I'm not really sure why he's going for that. Oh, there we go. Drop the sub. Awesome Bearbeard just subscribed and became a Wallow Warlord. Thank you very much, man. I want to see those Wallow hypes in the chat, please, as we welcome Awesome Beard. I almost said Beard Bear. That would be a little bit of a strange creature. Although surely a bear is entirely beard. But thank you for subbing, man. I want to see that magnificent beard, if indeed you actually have one. I'm sure you do with a name like that. And welcome to the Wallow Warlords. Much appreciated. Franklin then seems to be splitting his navy up a little bit, but I think he can hold his own over here against Rancor. Rancor has bigger issues at the moment. He's kind of dealing with this, and that's a lot of army. And with the rams in front, Kalis actually has a fantastic combination. The ram's going to soak up the arrow fire, allowing his arbalest to shoot over the back from behind. Rancor now does have Yeoman, but he's bringing everything he's got down to the south here. And I think that is a worry to me, because there's Banganel, there's that Treb, and there is Rancor's king. So Rancor getting squeezed out from both sides. He still has the score lead. Somehow he still has that score lead. But I tell you, for free, he's not going to hold it for long once Banganel comes in. And Banganel, Spies just revealing the location of his king. I don't know who researched the spies there. It may have been Franklin, in fact. Franklin with those cannon galleons, perhaps looking for a king snipe of his own. But poor Rancor, he's put so much work into this game. He's put so much effort into this. And that castle is now under pressure. Pushing down on him as that Trev deploys. And those longbows can sit on this hill out of range. There's the king. He's making a break for it. It looks like he's going to come down to the south. And thankfully, he's able to get out in time. But there's Franklin on the water. And if the king comes into this castle, well, he's going to feel the heat pretty soon as well. Instead, he's gone to the TC in the center of the map, but it's certainly not a safe location. At the same time, Kalis is pushing through, and somehow, Rancor still holds that score lead. But ultimately, I think it's going to come now between Kalis and Banganel. Who knows, Franklin might just find himself another king snipe, because, let's be honest, the king of Kalis is certainly in no safe place back here in the corner of the map. Sure, there's a bunch of castles, but it's certainly not enough, I don't think. Rancor then, he's calling the G to the G. No king snipe for him, but he's out of it. And I feel really, it's a shame, really, because he really is, one of the better players in this game after that performance, in my opinion. He really put in the most work, the most effort. He was fighting all manner of people. He basically pushed Franklin completely off of his land. He pressured Ivik enough that Ivik was, forced out here with the help of Banganel, of course. And he still has that score lead, though it's about to change. There you go, Banganel taking the lead now. And Kalis not far behind as he starts to clean through these buildings. The question is, what next? What is next? And on the water, Kalis has very little left. So I think Franklin might be able to find himself some kills, maybe find himself some castles to down if he uses those good old cannon galleons. I was a little bit concerned that Banganel has his monk in a transport ship, and that's kind of a little bit worrying. I thought for a second it was going to be the king, but no, he's not that stupid. His king is tucked away back at home in this castle. Very safe location for him. Though, saying that, how safe is that location? If Franklin were to come in with cannon galleons and pop some galleons here, would the king survive? Probably. Anyway, interesting stuff going on over here, because Banganel's looking for another person to put out of this game. This time, he's coming into Kalis, and he's going to drop those castles from the water there. Maybe not if he sits his cannon galleons too close. That was messy. But like I say, Kalis has his king right in the corner of the map, certainly safe from any water aggression. But Kalis now feeling the pressure, I think, and Kalis is in the wrong place to be fighting Banganel. That's the problem. He has put all of this effort into landing the south of England, pushing through Franklin's base, fighting Rancor. His entire army is in the Midlands now. But there's no kings left here. There's no one else here for him to fight. The king of Banganel is up in the north, and the king of Kalis is far out on the east. So I'm wondering now, really, what's the plan for him? What's the plan? Will he try and just push Banganel off England? Well, if he does that, there's not really much point to it. I mean, there's not really a lot of resources left. There's a little bit of gold here and there. But ultimately now, I think it comes down to the water. All three of the remaining kings are on an island, and as it were, I mean, the entirety of the United Kingdom just absolutely thrown into turmoil. But all of the kings are on small islands. I suppose France isn't really an island, is it? But in this map, it technically is an island, since it's the blackness counts as nothing, which means it's a very weirdly shaped island, but an island nonetheless. So Kalis now rebuilding those galleons there, realizing that, hey, I'm probably going to need a little bit more on the water. But unfortunately for him, he's a little 2v1. Banganel up in the north, Franklin down in the south. And I would not want to be Kalis here. He's feeling the heat, that's for sure. Feeling that heat. Franklin with a huge navy, though. And I wonder who's got the largest navy at this point. Franklin has 77 warships. Banganel has 76. So Franklin has the largest navy by 1. And I want to quickly have a look at the achievements here, since Rancor's now gone. Rancor had the most units killed by a long way. He also had the most units lost as well. And if we have a quick look at Eco, Rancor had a very good economy also, but he's been pushed out of the game simply because of the way that the free-for-all has taken this game. The way that it's kind of, forced it into a 3v1 against him. Being sort of in the middle of the map doesn't help, I'm sure. So Kalis now, with this army, what's he going to do? I think he's got to go for a landing. He's got to go for a landing. It's not going to be easy, because Banganel's walled off his shorelines, which is pretty wise of him. But I think Kalis has to go for a landing again. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough. I think it's going to be really tough. This army's no use to him. Nightbringer 57, donate $2.50. To make up for the letdown earlier, hope I can be in the next one, Kipo. Yeah, Nightbringer, I will invite you. I invited you earlier. I don't know what happened. You kind of joined the game and then disappeared, I think. But I'll invite you to the next game, no problem. Thank you very much, man, for the donation. Much appreciated. And there's Banganel now, fighting Kalis. Kalis hanging on with what he's got, but look at this. He's coming up, and he's worried about a landing attempt, perhaps. This army, meanwhile, just sitting here doing nothing. It serves no purpose at this point. Franklin, I like this. A landing up here, but I don't. Although I think this is interesting, I don't think it's going to turn the game around. This landing will serve no purpose. The real landing has to come over at Banganel's island. I do suppose, though, if Banganel is pushed off of the mainland here, then his home island actually offers nothing of value. There's no resources there, apart from food. But Banganel is in no shortage of resource here. He has 8,000 gold, 7,000 wood, 16k food. There is no shortage. And Banganel's just, I think, in the prime position to take the game. I think it's now a matter of time, but we'll see. I just feel really bad for Kalis. Franklin taking down his castles in the south. Banganel taking down his castles in the north. These guys haven't even met each other on the water yet, but they're both fighting a common enemy, rather. And what's Franklin's gold looking like? He's sat on 2,500. I love this comeback from him. I think it's great. You're right, Blackwinds. That's a great point. Someone could actually trade here. There are plenty of leftover docks. In fact, Rancor left his docks on the west side of Wales there. So, I mean, Franklin could trade with his dock, and that could be an infinite source of gold there, unless these docks get taken out, which is, let's be honest, highly unlikely. So here comes Kalis pushing forwards on the land, and this will be interesting, because like Banganel has so many resources, but he's not going to want to throw away his economy, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Kalis is being pushed really far back, and Franklin, I really want to see Franklin like overtake these guys and score now. That would make my day. I want to see him overtake Kalis and score. That'll be a lot of fun. What's this coming down here? Franklin's got a transport. What's in it? What's in it? It's villagers. Oh, yeah, boy. He's landed. He's made a landing down on the south of Kalis's island, or to the west of it, I suppose. The northwest of France here. And that's cool. He's going to be trying to land. Now, he doesn't really know what's through the fog here. He's seen this. He's seen that because he knows the king is there. He's done spies, so he's figured out exactly where it is. And he's going to go for it. He knows it's there. He's going to go for it. But he doesn't know what's blocking him. And that's a castle. That's a lot of halberds and a lot of skirms. It might be worthwhile for Franklin to do spies once more before he goes in there and gets killed by the mass halberdier that are fully upgraded, the mass skirms that are fully upgraded. But hey, credit where credit is due. He's hungry, and he might just find himself a victory if he pushes forward here and keeps that pressure on. Fight going on up in the north, and Kalis going into Banganel, looking like he wants to do some damage up here. Looks like he will lose that fight, though. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell at the moment. The Rams are doing some serious work, but Banganel's got his Rams in there as well, and those light cavalry are taking out the Rams of Kalis pretty quickly. I think Banganel will win that fight with the longbows. The extra range will help a little bit as well, and obviously with the superior economy, he's going to be cool. But I can't help but feel the more Kalis loses on the land, the more he's going to have back here. And once Kalis is like pot blocked and just fully loaded with army back here, it's going to be difficult for Franklin to push in. But that's not going to stop him. He's still going to go for it. He's going to do light cavalry. He's going to get that those defense upgrades, I hope. Let's see, yeah, nearly fully upgraded there, in fact. In fact, are they fully upgraded? I can't remember. No, they're not. Of course, they get blast furnace as well. So, yeah, these guys are going to go for it. He's making some siege. We got capped ram coming out. We got plenty of rams on the way. I think Franklin's biggest issue is wood. He's actually out of wood now. And if I was him, I'd stop seeding farms. I'd just get some wood from somewhere. And in fact, we're kind of running out of wood all over the place here. Majority of the wood is actually in England, but there's not really a huge amount left that's accessible. I guess sort of to the East Midlands, that's kind of accessible. But other than that, it's basically mined out. Franklin actually, well, actually no, he's got the south of his base back, so he might be able to get a bit of wood here. He's also got this island up in the north of Scotland that he could take, but he's not going to go for that just yet, it seems. Maybe loading up transport and doing that. There's the trade guy. I hope he's not actually watching the stream, because that would be really lame. But he is trading. He is trading with Rancor's docks after we kind of suggested it, or rather, Blackwinds suggested it. Now, to make it better, he could trade with these docks, and that would be much more efficient. Obviously, his trade cogs are only bringing 3 gold back, but Kalis GGing out, and I feel that's a shame. That's a shame. Franklin's gonna be so mad. He's just dropped these stables, and he's queued out these stables with light cavalry. He's done capped ram specifically to kill that king, and now Kalis is GG'd out. It's between Bankinel and Franklin. And this will be an interesting, important fight on the water here. I think Franklin might take it. He's gone for ship armor now as well. And if he wins this, this will be the biggest comeback of the century. Maybe not, actually. But still, doing some work. He's got to move these cannon galleons back. Move the cannon galleons back before you lose the fight. You will lose this fight now, I feel. Got to get those cannon galleons out of the way. I can't believe he's trading here. Like, you got to delete these docks and trade, like, from here. And that way they'll be a lot more efficient. 3 gold per trip is not very good. But hey, infinite gold. I'm not going to complain. So, at the moment, Bankinel has 5,000 wood, and Franklin has none. Which means that the water fight, which is what this is going to come down to, should be in Bankinel's favor. He's got the ability to make more galleons overall. So, although he lost that first fight, I thought he might have just won that. But no, he lost that first fight, or he's at least retreating. I feel like he's got the bigger potential to defend his king and defend his island with this alone. It's now come down to Norway versus Ireland, and I feel like Norway's probably got this. Norwegian power, and Bankinel has no shortage of wood in the center of the map. Franklin's coming down here to take more, but you know, wood is not going to be easy for him to find here. He's got a good navy. He's sending it around to the right side. But I think what Franklin has to do is he has to go for the king. If he fights the army of Bankinel, Bankinel will just keep replenishing. He'll keep coming back. He'll be like Medusa. Is that no? It'll be like the Hydra. Whatever. The same thing, right? You chop a bit off and more grows back. That's what Bankinel's gonna do. And Franklin, it will just be a real slog to keep the wood income alive so that he can keep making boats. At the moment, though, his wood is going up. And he's with this trade, maybe he could buy a little bit of wood here and there, but it's not really a long-term plan, that's for sure. So Franklin then, good navy, good size navy. How much can he do with it? That's the question. Bankinel coming down now. Franklin going to want to go back with these guys and meet up with the other bros at the back here. Kind of group them together as best he can. Bankinel's going to find that, well, that's a really easy win if he takes that fight. So Franklin has to retreat. Yeah, the Hydra grows 2 heads for everyone you cut off. Indeed. I learnt that from playing Twilight Forest in Minecraft. But no, I mean, still, the point stands. Bankinel will be able to keep replenishing his army much more quickly, much faster than Franklin will. Franklin, though, he's gonna fight. He's gonna do what he can. Those cannonballs sploshing down, doing a lot of damage, and hey, Bankinel's retreating back. He's also coming around the north, but hey, he's gonna run once again into another army of Franklin. Franklin just suiciding those units. He had a lot of light cavalry here. He had a bunch of units, but you know, he's just like, fuck that, I don't need that anymore. He just suicided them. And I think that was the right thing to do. I think that was the absolutely right thing to do. Taking more wood down in the south now. He's got a bit more wood income. And I think he's got to go for the king. He just has no choice. He's got to go for that king. He's got to take it out. And if he can do that, then he can win it. So now we wait. Now we wait. I mean, he could come around the north and with some galleons here. The problem is, though, if he does go for the king with the cannon galleons, Banknell's going to have plenty of time to react and move the king backwards. He can't just take the king out by killing that castle. He's kind of got to land as well. And landing Banganel is going to be very difficult. If, however, he can kind of strand the king, if he can win the water and destroy Banganel's docks, then eventually he will win that. He can do it. But, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. Galleon's now moving around the north. And he's got still these trade cocks. He probably delete these villagers now. He's probably not going to need them. He could probably sell all of his food. He's not going to need any of that. No food required. He could send more villagers over down here. Get the wood at the corner of the map. And it's not like there's no wood left. It's just, it's not a lot. That's the thing. So over he goes to the north, and it looks like Banganel's got the larger military navy here for now, so Franklin going to want to be very careful up here. Banganel's splitting his units away, and that's kind of silly. He's just sending his galleons right into this, not even fighting. What is he doing? Banganel, stop suiciding your units, dude. That was a huge waste, and Franklin's obviously going to win that fight. No questions asked. Easy, easy for Franklin there. And I don't know why Banganel did that. He split half his army away, and then he just kind of like flopped around like a fish out of water as Franklin destroyed his boats. He's closing the gap as well. If we look at Franklin's fog of war, he knows where the king is. He's done spies. So, you know, he's well aware. He's well aware of where that king is hiding. And he's going to try and maybe pincer move that. Up in the north, though, Franklin literally doing what Banganel literally just did to him. But there you go. He's now reacting a little bit more. And maybe win that fight as well, in fact. Franklin, 186 population. Banganel, 153. I don't believe it. I think Franklin might be coming back from this. This is going to be insane if he pulls it off. It will be insane. Where are those cannon galleons at? Well, they're hiding out. They're looking for a way to go. And there you go. Franklin going to be killing that army on the left as well. Great play by him. And I want to have a look at his KD now. 313 killed, 331 lost. So it's pretty close. But that's going to change. Oh dear, Franklin, you've got to use patrol, dude. You have to use patrol. Can't tell you how important patrolling is in this game. Like, just press Z, patrol your units, because look at this. It's a massacre. And all those gains, all those mad gains that he made on Banganel there, they've just been thrown away just due to negligence. What a waste. So, Banganel, let's see. 86 warships for Franklin. Banganel on just 50. Franklin should be in the lead, but he's got a long reinforced distance. He's got a lot of distance to cover if he wants to fight. And look at this. Banganel with a good sort of concave here. Franklin may lose this fight. Reinforcements are on the way, but I think he's fighting at a disadvantage, and he's going to get squashed out here on this left side. What's his wood looking like? It's still positive. It can only ever be positive, I guess, or zero. Banganel certainly looks like he's got a lot more wood in the bank. Franklin, a little bit more gold, I think. No, actually, Banganel has that too, so tough, tough stuff. Banganel now 54 warships after that fight. Franklin brought down to 67. He's still got a good number, but they're out of position. And that is not good enough, unfortunately. He's also got to go past a castle on the way over there, which means a lot of his ships are getting taken out by the stupid castle. So what's he going to do? What's the plan, Franklin? Well, building more docks. And that's actually a good idea. I think this is a legit thing for him to do. Building those docks out here. And that way the reinforced distance is a lot less. Wow! Oh my god, Banganel's landing. Holy shit. Guys, I didn't notice that. Sorry. I don't know how he did that even. How did he even notice that? How did he even do that? Okay, well, light cavalry. Light cavalry in Franklin's base. And I didn't even notice. I apologize. I'm looking at the chat. And all I see is Ireland. Ireland. Look at Ireland. Look at this from Banganel. How did he do that? How did he pull that landing off? I don't know. I don't know, but he did. And Franklin now is actually in a bit of trouble. Everything he's got is inside of his TCs. But I don't think for a second that Bang & El will be able to bring down a castle here. The king, obviously, up in the north. And, I mean, those light cabs aren't going to be able to do it. But I'm just amazed he's managed to land like that. It's pretty nuts. Oh, my God. No. No, Franklin. What are you doing? There's no need to move the king. Oh, GG. Oh, GG. Bang & El takes it. Franklin gets sunked. And he is defeated. The landing was not enough on its own, but the evacuation of the king running himself into those galleons for the second time this game. I think it's quite fitting, really, that Franklin died in a transport ship to the cannon galleons the same way that he killed I Victorious earlier this game. Now, ultimately, I think Bang & El should have won that game anyway. He clearly had more wood income. He clearly had more water control, even though he sometimes had a smaller navy. The landing was nice. I didn't really see it. I apologize. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. But, you know, Franklin had no reason to leave his island there. He had no reason at all. He could have just sat inside of his castle. And those guys, those light cabs, wouldn't have done a whole lot. But GG, Bang & El going to take the game. And that game really was all over the place. Honestly, I would not have expected it to come down to Franklin and Bang & El at the end. I expected it to be between Rancor and Bang & El midway through. At the start, I expected Ivic to be there at the end of the game, but that just didn't happen. Kalis was in it for a long while until he lost the water. And then Franklin just kind of reboomed in the background, brought himself back into the game. And then he was there right up till the end, and then Bang & El takes the win. So GG, gotta love a good regicide. Thank you for the settings suggestion. It was really good. Britain's war on the map, Britain, it's great. It's really good. And I think for the next game, we'll do another real world map for good measure as well. But that was a lot of fun. And we'll have a quick look at the achievements here as well. Let's have a quick gander at this. Units killed for Rancor. He had the most still, even though he was out for, let's see, when did he go out? I'm not sure, around this time. So about 30 minutes ago, he was out of the game. Yet, he still had the most kills. Most losses as well, but the most kills. Units, buildings raised was Bang & El's. Obviously, those cannon galleons doing a lot of work. And I Victorious lost the most buildings as well, which is probably, again, Bang & El's hard work, I suppose. And there you go. Villager High 111 split between Bang & El and Kalis. Well played. What a fun game that was. That was very enjoyable. Alright, guys, I will be right back. I'm going to play a very short ad. Take